reason you don't post that content is because of a visibility wound. It isn't because you're a perfectionist. It isn't because you're not consistent. It isn't because you don't have something to say. It's because once upon a time, something happened when you showed your true self and you were ostracized, discriminated against, something negative associated with showing yourself, your true self. And so your nervous system will have you making excuses, saying it's not the right time. Hey, it's Rita. Let's have a little campfire chit-chat. So I had never even heard of a visibility wound. What's that? And I had been hearing about it lately in the last couple weeks quite a bit. And so I looked into it, and surprisingly, there really wasn't a whole lot of content on it. There was some literature, but I didn't find a lot of videos and people talking about it. So I thought, what is this? Once upon a time, probably in your childhood, you showed your true self. You did something to put yourself out there, and you were criticized, or something negative happened to program your brain and your nervous system that being seen equals danger. So I think the first step is recognizing that is what's going on. I haven't been posting the content that I feel like I should be posting. I've been just doing whatever, which, don't get me wrong, I feel like you should be able to do whatever. And I get on myself about that too. Like, you're doing all kinds of shit. Everybody else just kind of stays in one little niche or whatever. And you're like all over the fucking place. And I'm like, you're not consistent. You're blah, 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 and I'm always getting on myself, like, because I know I have things that I need to share, and I don't share them like I should. So I'm constantly getting on myself, like, and then you find things that you feel like you have to do, like you're outside vacuuming the sandbox, just ridiculous things that you don't really need to do, but you just find ways to distract yourself. Or say that you need to get this done before you can do this, or this needs to be done before this can happen, I think the first step is possibly trying to remember where it came from. If you can think back to a time when you showed yourself and you were criticized or embarrassed, ostracized, whatever, something negative. And so I was thinking about it, and I grew up in a very religious home. I mean, kinda. We went to church all the time. My parents were kind of hypocritical, like they didn't really practice what they preached at home, as I feel most people do. But it was a very strict Southern Baptist church, and so you weren't allowed to show your knees, you weren't allowed to wear pants as a female, you weren't supposed to dance, you weren't supposed to wear too much makeup, you weren't supposed to wear high heels, you didn't want to draw a lot of attention to yourself. And I always loved to wear makeup and, even just a short heel. And I remember people always staring at me at church and just, I have a lot of probably scenarios that have given me this visibility wound, but that's one of the first things I think about. And no, just because I went to a shitty church doesn't mean that it's the reason I have shunned the Christianity religion. I have been shown other truths, and so that is why I no longer believe in Christianity. And it's not because I'm angry at the church, which I was when I was younger, but that's a subject for another day. So how do we heal this visibility wound? I'm just discovering it, so I don't fully know I'm going to be working through it myself. But I think first of all is sitting quietly, tracing back to a memory or memories of when you felt something negative after showing your true self, and sitting with that. And when I sat with that for a little while and those uncomfortable feelings I felt at church, and and I cried about it, and I released some of that energy. But I think also we have to start to show ourselves, and maybe just baby steps, a little bit at a time. Maybe I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be organized like I really feel like I should and I want to be, and post on a regular basis and on a schedule, but maybe I'll get there, and hopefully I'll get there. But just baby steps as far as like showing myself and my true self without a filter, without all the shit, without acting any certain way to make anyone happy, just being my true authentic self, because authenticity is where your happiness lies, people. So if anyone else is out there is struggling with being seen, and I'm really uncomfortable being seen, like out on the streets, and so I dress really frumpy all the time because I don't like people looking at me, and so I think that's part of it too, and so I tend to not dress up or make myself look attractive in any way because I don't like drawing any attention to myself. So I think that is a part of my visibility wound as well, because there used to be a time where I always had heels on, and I would leave the house without my eyelashes on or makeup, and now I just literally don't give a fuck. And I think motherhood does that to you too, because it's so exhausting. But really, I've kind of lost myself, and I'm trying to find my way back home to me. So thanks for being here in my little campfire talk with the birds. They have lots to say, and I appreciate their words of wisdom. And that's it. Until our next campfire chat. Nighty night. Buenos noches.